Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome back to Let's Play Legendary Wings for the Nintendo Entertainment System. We are on the 5th and final stage of the game, and we need to be careful here. Thankfully, I am able to refill the hit points on my maximum weapon power right then and there, while fighting the enemies. Also, you definitely want to take out as many of the ground turrets as you can, because it will make getting around and fighting enemies a lot simpler and easier. Also, being able to refill your weapon, make it more powerful when necessary, really comes in handy. Of course, you're better off being at maximum weapon power so that you have the Phoenix form with 3 hits. Now here, I can never avoid the whirlpools because they just come at me so fast. So here's what you do in case you do get caught in these face areas. When you see these blue areas, you want to hang all the way back, shoot as low as you can. When you're able to make your way to the right, you go all the way to the right and you don't stop until you get out of the blue area. When you see this worm, shoot it in its turret-shaped head as fast as you can. It helps if you have maximum weapon power. Now here it doesn't matter which route you take, because there aren't any enemies showing up yet until you reach another blue area, but I stick to the top. Remember that for later. And also, these blue mitochondria things are back. Second verse, same as the first. Now here, I take the top route like before, and I stay up at the top in case any of these green enemies that shoot to the sides and switch between the ceiling and the floor show up. I stick to the ceiling, I always stick to ceiling height, so that way I can shoot these things either as soon as they show up or when they come to my level. And I stick to the top level from here. That way, I don't have to worry about these things shooting me and causing me unnecessary grief. Eventually, you'll reach the end of this area, and you'll be in an enclosed space where you can face left or right just by flying in that direction. And you have to shoot 6 worms in the head. These things will shoot bubbles. You cannot shoot them down. Avoid them entirely. Also, I'm glad that I could duck if I'm at floor level, just by holding down. And I am amazed that I got all 6 of those worms on the first pass. So once we defeat those 6 worms, we make it back out. We have to deal with these enemies again. And of course, we're going to have to deal with even more ground turrets, while dealing with as many enemies as possible. As much as I would like to shoot things out of the air, bombing the ground turrets makes more sense, even if I do take a hit in the process, because I won't have as many things on the ground shooting at my current position. After some more double-sided dart enemies, there are some more turrets on the ground. I bomb those. Thankfully, I managed to get through here without taking another scratch. And after 3 more turrets, this is where things get a little dicey. There are some turrets on the top of these walls that you cannot shoot. You just kind of have to brute force your way through them. Now here I just kind of hold down and right, and then make my move when I need to, and bomb the ground turrets. That turret right there, that has the whirlwind. If you take a hit while bombing that turret, the whirlwind will not hit you, and it will not take you to this bonus area. There was not one in 4. There was not one in the 4th level, but there is one here in the 5th. And I'm glad that there's one here in the 5th, because it gives me a bit of a respite from the turrets that are placed in a way that makes me unable to destroy them in any way. And if I need the power-ups, I can get them. There's not a lot in this bonus area. There's a few pickups, More than likely, you're going to be picking up continues and weapon power-ups, but that's about it. You're not going to be finding King Tut Mask and Snake Statuettes and everything that just give you points. You're more than likely going to find the more important stuff, and it's going to be scarce here compared to the other bonus areas in the earlier levels. At least the layout of this area is the same as they are in all the other levels that we've been in these places in. Once again, the turret that creates the whirlwind that takes you over here, you cannot be flashing from invulnerability when you shoot that turret down with a bomb and the whirlwind comes out. Because if you're flashing from the whole invulnerability thing, the whirlwind won't touch you, you won't go down there, and you'll miss out on some power-ups for just in case. Because you have multiple hits thanks to how the weapon system in this game works, and you're going to need all the power-ups that you can get. I take 2 hits here. The only way to get through that is to just kind of rush your way through. And of course you want to hang back and to the left there to take out the first set of those enemies, so that way you don't get shot. And from here, you can just avoid the X things again and then take out more enemies. And now you can bomb the statues. Yeah, the game makes you wait here on the final stretch of the 5th and final stage before you make it to the temple. And of course they put 2 invulnerable normal enemies from the last stage in your way as part of that. But at least the statues are in the same locations as before. And we fight the same dragon as before. The devil is waiting for us in the palace. Rush courageously. You want to be very careful here, because getting power-ups in this area can be a bit of a pain, and I did not think I would get shot there. Or there. I am now back down to the level 3 weapon. I am now 2 hits away from death. Thankfully, there are some power-ups in this area, but you better be ready to get them. You better be ready to move and get them, and take care of enemies on the way too. Like here, I barely made it through this area. I was really looking for where I had to destroy the columns and then just get myself there accordingly. And now we have these green things again, but we have even more power-ups. Play it safe, you can get back to maximum weapon power-up, or back to maximum weapon power before you know it. You can even refill hits on the Phoenix form, the 5th and final form of your weapon if you need them, because let's face it, you're going to need them. And I took a dumb hit there. Great job, me. So anyway, we have the boss from the ends of the temples meeting us one more time. Same boss, different color scheme. And I believe we have 8 or 9 eyes with this one. And 3, 5. I just see the 5. No, I see 6. But some of them are really close. And I really have to make my periods of time for when the core of this thing is open really counts. It also does not hurt to destroy eyes when the weak point of the boss is pretty close to you. Yeah, the middle of the boss is too close to the left side of the screen and you're facing the eyes. Go ahead and face the eyes. Just go ahead and shoot 1 or 2 of those down. You'll be glad you did, because it'll make this boss battle much easier the longer it goes. And after taking care of a few of the eyes in the front, I am able to really shoot this core down. Now once you beat this boss, you're not done yet. You're going to need to get yourself into this corridor and shoot down the little fleshy looking walls so that way you can continue and not take any damage on the way to the other side of this thing. Now it's time for the real boss of this thing. You want to avoid the little projectiles that come to it and shoot out of it, and you want to shoot the green core. Sometimes when you fly around, you'll kind of see the silhouette of the boss in your sprite, in your character, like right there. And if that happens, you just found out where the boss has teleported to and will show up at. So you want to position yourself accordingly and get even more shots than you usually would, just from running and gunning here. And as long as you stay on the move and you don't do dumb things, you'll beat that boss and you'll beat the game. You have saved human race from its extinction. Thank you for playing. And that was Let's Play Legendary Wings for the NES. This is not a bad game. It can be a hard one, but it can be a good one. The graphics, they're all right. I didn't have a problem with those. They're pretty much what you'd expect from Capcom from this era of gaming. Same thing with the sound and the music. Matter of fact, the game also uses some sounds that you'd hear from other Capcom games from around this time, especially Mega Man 1 and 2. This game had a lot of blasting and shooting sound effects from the Mega Man games, the early ones at least, the first two. Play control is pretty good. I had no problem with it. It's pretty darn tight. It really does feel like a sure fought when you take dumb hits or take a dumb death. And this game took us to a second loop. It started us right back at the beginning where things would get a little bit harder, and there's your replay value right there. Once you get good enough to play through the game the first time around, you have a second loop where you start off with all the same things you ended the first loop with, and you can see if you can do better on a higher difficulty. But I'm only going to play the first loop. So this has been Let's Play Legendary Wings. Hopefully, I will be back with another game. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be bad. Maybe it'll be somewhere in between. Who knows? This has been Legendary Wings for the NES. This is PrinceWatercress. Take care. Stay safe. Thanks for watching, and see you guys later.